Hey everyone, David here. Uh, so, uh, First things first, still having to fight with the unemployment office. Go figure. Yeah, because unemployment office doesn't know how to do anything right, apparently. But it led me to think about some of the differences between Alabama and California. So, one of the big differences you'll obviously notice it's a political. And quite frankly, Governor Kay Ivey is freaking awesome. So, there's that. But, something else from the thing is obviously the weather. It's definitely a hell of a lot more humid in Alabama than California. Even if you go down, you damn near have to be by the beach in order to match the humidity that the South has. Another thing is, California is very beautiful, and they have a crap ton of things to do. Alabama, unless you are a fisher or a hunter, there's not a lot to do. Unless you like just doing those kind of things or just being around family all the time, there's really not a lot that you can do. Which I enjoy being around family and stuff, but unfortunately the ex did not. So, so there's another difference. People, it's hard to vary. I mean, there's a lot of nice people in California, but believe it or not, Alabama's got quite a few pricks out there. So I can't really say. I mean, I give a slight edge to Alabama, but it's only a slight one. Usually you'd think, because, now obviously if you go to a store, hell yeah, the stores and the businesses and the way things are ran, they're a lot nicer than they are in California. But the people can vary, especially seeing as you got a lot of people moving from like California and places like that into Alabama. So you have that aspect. California, you have a ton of stuff to do, but unfortunately, if you live here, most of the time you're not the one doing it. It's usually people coming from outside. Taxes and costs and all that stuff are so high, it's almost impossible to do things. So while there's a lot to do, it's hard to do them. Now, I can tell you this, getting your driver's license, going through the unemployment office, doing all that different stuff, it's much easier in California. I know people look at me strange, but it really is. Alabama has an older system. So unless you go ahead and get yourself into the system, you basically are going to be fighting. I mean, I've been fighting for weeks just to even get an appointment because their systems and stuff are so out of date, and the way they do things is so out of date. I mean, their DMV driving written test. I mean, their written test. Yeah, the written test was dated for like 2010 or something. It was really old. We're in California, everything's updated and up to date and setting the standard. Now, granted, it's a broken standard, but it's still setting it. So you got to kind of look at some of the differences in between them. Typically, that's why I like California a little more, is because, well, it's more modern, more up to date. Now, that doesn't mean I hate Alabama. I do like Alabama. There's a lot of things I love about Alabama that I can't stand about California. But because I'm a little more modern, up to date and stuff, I don't really care much for some of the stuff. Now, Alabama will like to pretend that they're up to date and all that stuff, but really not. They're really not. It's very, you can find a classic car over there a lot easier than you can find something over here. Not to mention, smoking laws and all that stuff. Outside of a courthouse, none of that stuff even exists. So it's just, there's some the differences are there, and it's pretty noticeable, but at the same time it's not noticeable, because things that people think about Alabama and all those places, they don't really actually know. Now, the food hand down is way better in Alabama. Way better. I challenge you on that. Now, maybe Mexican food, Hispanic Mexican food, yeah, no, I wouldn't buy that in Alabama, not if you paid me. I bought it because, I wanted Mexican food, but it's no different than going to Taco Bell. You're not gonna find real Mexican food. I had to go out of my way to find Agua Fresca. So, the multicultural food, California definitely has them beat, but food, just the food taste in general, nah, Southern states got that, especially Alabama. So, the real difference is do you want a slower pace in life, or do you want a faster pace in life? And that's where it really boils down to. That's the reason Dash likes Alabama. But California is more my speed. We probably should have went to Texas, and that probably would have kind of fit both of our needs, but it didn't. They went back there, and she got the kind of life she wanted, but the only piece of it I wanted, which was having family and all that stuff involved, she didn't want. And that's the only thing that actually had any interest to me. So, that's the only differences I see. And just doing this because I need to throw a video out. I had something in mind, but I forgot what it was. So, hopefully we'll have some updates coming for my charity soon. So, thank you and have a good day.